Okay, well, welcome to my first video. Technically my second because the first one was kind of a failure. But I will be playing today as Animist Benin. And originally my idea was to play as Benin, move my way over to Egypt, and culture convert to Egyptian. And due to a small Easter egg in common sense, that would change my king's name to Pharaoh. However, I did some digging through the files, and it turns out that there's a lot of really cool stuff if you stay animist in West Africa when later in the game. And you have to have a West African culture in order to do that. So I thought, well, you know what? I feel that little Easter egg is meant more for like a custom nation, where you can, make a little custom nation here, just be animist, be pharaoh, have fun with that. They also have another one where if you're Umbrian culture, which is somewhere here in Italy, I believe, you can be imperator as animist, so you can be like Greco-Roman paganism Rome. So got some cool ideas there for custom nations, but I kind of want to live the dream of being a West African pagan and maintaining my West African identity. So I'm gonna stick around with my Yoruba culture, I believe Benin has, just so I can get to have some fun with those events later on. Anyway, just a little quick rundown of Benin again. My favorite thing about them is that their flag is a man decapitating another man, so we're going to try to do that a lot. They have Sub-Saharan Tech Group, which really sucks, but on the coast we're going to definitely see quite a few Europeans, so we'll be able to very quickly westernize as long as we can reform out of this tribal government, which really sucks, except for the core creation cost. That's pretty good. And we are Animist, of course. Animist is really, really bad, but for the sake of this run, we're going to stick with it. Also, we do get some really cool events later on as Animist in West Africa. And Benini's ideas, to start off, they get a bonus to morale and national manpower. That's really, really good, especially early game when you're really starved for manpower. You get a whole legitimacy every year, so that's pretty much going to keep us as a monarchy. But that's not a bad thing. I think monarchies can be pretty good. It's a shame they got rid of personal unions for non-Christians, but what can you do? You get a bonus to your siege ability. That's actually really good in common sense because those forts are really tough to crack. You get a bonus to your taxes. That's more money. That's always good. More ducats. You get a bonus to your fort defense, which is actually kind of mediocre because you're generally not want to be on the. You're gonna want to be on the offensive. Here you also get 10% goods produced. That's okay because you get some bonus ducats if you control trade, but it requires you to control trade, and with the Europeans going to be around here, they're going to probably try to muck it up and bring all those ducats up to the upper trade nodes. Get a reduction to accepted culture threshold. That could be good, but we're going to be colonizing because we've got a lot of these crappy tropical and desert lands that we want, because we want access to these other African lands, which are easy pickings once we've subdued West Africa. And then once we have those colonists, well, we might as well colonize Brazil, because why not? That, or we might want to colonize more so this area, because the trade from South America doesn't like going to Africa. Because it'll go to the Ivory Coast node, but that gets really dominated by Europeans. So we might instead do some fun stuff with conquering the north and the east, and then try to colonize Australia and the Philippines and Indonesia. Try to get that trade moving up to the Alexandria trade node or Tunis. See what we can do about that. Yeah, and lastly we have trade efficiency. That's really good. 10% more ducats from trade. And then we get a 10% bonus to infantry combat, which is pretty nice. Otherwise though, we start off with a pretty decent king, getting lots of scroll mana, not getting a lot of diplomatic bird mana, which is kind of useless, and you get a mediocre amount of military 3 sword mana, which we would like more, so we're probably going to put a focus into that. Otherwise our tech sucks because we're sub-Saharan, but like I said, the Europeans are going to start showing up here, and we're going to try to westernize as soon as possible. And without further ado, I say let's give it a shot. Yeah. Oh, by the way, in case I didn't mention it, let me close this. So this is out of the way. There we go. I already tried Benin once, like I said, with the whole Pharaoh idea, but didn't go so well. I got into a fight with a lot of the Muslims in the area, and I didn't quite go bankrupt, but let's say I was going to become bankrupt very, very shortly afterward. So this time we're going to be a little more conservative and try to use the things we learned from the previous game to our advantage. So first off, wow, Mali doesn't like us, but they're all the way over there. And Oyo doesn't like us. Well, that's good, because we don't like Oyo either. One thing that I mentioned in the previous game was Nupe here is Muslim, and we want to kill them before they take these Animist provinces and convert them to Islam. So we're definitely going to rival them as soon as possible. And hopefully we can get a day 1 CB against them through our missions. Yes, we can. Also, that bonus to autonomy change is going to be useful early game when we have crappy governments. So let's definitely do that. In the meantime, let's see who we can get as allies. See, Zazao would make a good ally, but we're not allying Masi, because I made a mistake of allying Masi in my previous game, and they got completely wrecked by these Muslims around them. Mali doesn't like them, Machina doesn't like them, Songhai doesn't like him, Timbuktu doesn't like him, even Jene doesn't like them. They are just surrounded by Muslims who despise them. Oh, Kong too. And then even Bonelman, who is Animist, will not like them, because they need to expand, and Masi is going to get wrecked, and they'll make easy pickings. So, I say Zazao, Kano, and Zazao and Kano will make good allies as we take on Nupe. Dagmon and Dahomey might also make good allies. Dahomey in particular because they're right next door, so they can immediately start helping us. Whereas, same with Zazao and Kano. Dagbon maybe not so much, because I'm a little concerned that they're a little too close to Masi, therefore they might start getting wrecked by the Muslims here. Whereas these other guys are more in the east, where, yes, there are also Muslims here, but we can deal with them a little better than these really strong Muslims who have access to gold, which is a very important thing to control in here. See, here are our gold provinces. We want these. Mali is very happy to control 2 and has very easy access to a third one that is currently owned by a pagan, so they're probably going to try to go for that. So, like I said, we're going to try to control the east here, and then we'll move more towards the west with the power we've gained from the east. So, let's get this started. And let's buy some more troops, because we need them. These boats, we do not need these cogs, they are useless, unless we wanted to fight the Congo people, but to be fair, it would probably be better just to walk through the jungles. Because, although they may have... Oh wow. Cameroon is very full of angry natives. Maybe we don't want to be moving through those jungles, but still, boats are expensive, we don't need them. We are not going to be fighting Congo in a while anyway. We got some trade ships, which we will use to try to... That's a weird tooltip. It says increases our trade value from a higher number to a lower number. We probably can also destroy these ships, but since we have them, we might as well use them. For the trade, we still have an extra merchant, so we can send him here to collect. And this guy is transferring, but he is transferring away from where we have trade power, so he's gonna not collect. So we can get at least something out of that node. Generals, let's see. Okay, we've got crappy army tradition, but might as well give it a shot. Our heir how's our heir? Oh, our heir really wants to join the military. He has quite a patriotism in him. And he's a sucky general, but that's not the point. And the other guy is also sucky. But we're going to save the rest of our military power. We're not going to burn it just trying to roll the dice and get a good general. So, considering that our heir is not much... that this general is not much better than our heir, we're going to have our heir lead the troops so he has a greater chance of dying. Because our king is only 23 years old. How is our heir older than our king? Probably some sort of thing with brothers or whatever. I don't know how the succession works here in Benin. So yeah, let's hope he dies and we get a better heir. And we cannot afford an advisor. We could mothball this fort, but we're going to be going to war soon, so we want to keep it up. So let's get this started. Alright, they're happy. Dahomey wants an alliance too. That's good. And now let's fight Nupe before they get some allies with our big ol' pagan alliance here. Aw, stack white. Good shit. Phone's going off. I will be right back. Oh. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Had a little phone call. So, we have clearly already won this war, with basically no casualties at all, except for what we lose to attrition. Excellent, our allies are being nice and handing over the occupation. And you know what? I think they've got that under control. I don't want to lose too many troops to attrition. But see, holy 6%. Yeah, well, let's get the heck out of here before we lose too many troops. In the meantime, we can loot that. Because after all, once we conquer it, the autonomy is going to be so bad, there's no point in really in having the loot money still be there. Ooh, this is an event that I have not seen before. The Yoruba rule Benin justly, we believe. Aware, Abomi has been fair to the different tribes under our rule, but to some of his subjects that is not enough. The Yoruba people have sent a representative from Ondo requesting greater rights to make decisions about their own tribes if they are to remain under the reign of the High Chief. Although seemingly a humble request, the news of discontent in their home provinces makes it sound more like a demand. Well, these are all at 0 autonomy, so a stab for 15% less usefulness out of those provinces, which I think is a pretty fair trade, especially if we do this. We pop 1. Okay, we have to be at peace to get divination. That's okay. And there we go. Now we're at 2 stab. So now we're just waiting for that fort to go down. In the meantime, I'll start fabricating claims on Oyo, because we don't like them. They do have some friends, and like I said, I'm going to be careful about fighting them, because they are allied with our buddies here, Kano, so we will not have them as an ally in that war. And in general, we have to be concerned about our manpower. We do not want to go bankrupt having to deal with mercs. I'm gonna actually move these guys out so this place can recover its loot money. Just in time. So once that's back up, we'll loot it again, get those delicious ducats. What are we paying for right now? Army maintenance? Oh yeah, because we got... Actually, our force limit might have... Nope, our force limit's fine. So... we are losing money, and this war is fine, so we can mothball this fort. Alright, war's over. We're gonna fully annex them, take all their ducats. We're going to humiliate them, because that is an awesome new feature of Common Sense that you could humiliate in addition to other things, including annexing. So that sounds pretty good. Oh yes. And now we can encourage divination, get that unrest down, which we're going to need considering we actually get +1 unrest from our government type. So let's core these. Royal marriages. Well, do you have loyalties to anyone else? Zazo, but Zazo is my buddy who has loyalties to us, Dahomey, and Masi. So yes, we can do a royal marriage. Because you're tropical land with crappy development and no gold. So we can let you live for a little bit. And Zazo, why not? Zazo is our good friend. As long as they don't get dragged into wars through Masi, they should be a pretty good ally to have. Might want to help them out, because, well, they can't really convert things, but we don't want them to enforce demands or anything. You'll see, because we also have to conserve our own manpower. Yeah, I'm fabricating the claims. Missions, though. Yeah, improve prestige. That's not gonna happen when I'm at 8. Oh, Kano is not friends with us no more. Why is that? Is it because they are... It's probably because they're friends with Oyo. In that case, let's fabricate a claim on them too. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I have to see, I should increase the autonomy to get that unrest down, because early game rebels will mess you up. As you can see there, they had 8,000 troops from Sunni zealots, so I don't want to have to deal with that. But then again, these provinces will be less useful, but to be fair, they're already pretty useless, so I'll increase the autonomy. See, this might actually be a good time to fight them, because Kano has its hands full with rebels, so they will be less useful to Oyo. Therefore, that Bottoman might not even be able to get through. Although, actually, Dagwon would probably give them military access. But Dagwon doesn't have an ally. How many relationships do I have? Only 2 out of 3. So you know what? Dagwon, let's be friends. And that should make us in a very good spot. How many troops do they have, out of curiosity? Dagbon has 6,000. So yeah, I think we can do a pretty good job taking on. Oh, they want a royal marriage. I kind of don't like that idea because you're a little too close to Mossy. But I'll allow it. Oh, they don't want to join the war. In that case, I gotta wait a bit. In that case, keep fabricating claims. That is gonna be really nice. The autonomy of this province is really gonna go down and become useful soon. To be fair, it only has 3 development, but that's still gonna be nice. Yeah, Benin actually starts off with a few provinces that aren't too bad. Our manpower is pretty good. We definitely want to be fighting soon, because once that gets to max, then any trickling gain in manpower we get is not being useful to us. Huh. You broke our alliance already, didn't you? Maybe if I fight you... Yes, that is a better idea. I'll fight you, but then again... And then I can make you a co-belligerent. They'll drag Bonomi into the war, though. But... between me, Dahomey, Zazao, and Dagbon, I think we'll be fine. Let's do it. Oh, stack wipe. Dahomey. Oh, yes. Good stuff, good stuff. We don't want Dagbon to be knocked out of this war, so... we want to help him out. These are all cord now, which is pretty good. Actually, I'm going to wait here. Actually, I gotta go help him. Nice. I'm gonna let my troops regenerate a bit. force. Alright, we're retreating. Because we really need to regenerate. Well, luckily I think they did a pretty good dent on their troops. If they can stack wipe over there, that will be really nice. Manpower is starting to dwindle, but that's okay. We got enough to reinforce the army. Oh, they need help. Stack wipe, let's go. This is going much better than my previous game, because I'm not being dragged into Mossy's war. Oh, let's get peace with Bonneman, because we have full war score on them. Well, first things first, I want your war reparations and all your ducats. You all know that treaty. Not that that's really going to matter, because I'm probably going to vassalize them. Could annex them, but I need to save up my admin power. And I've got way too much bird mana. I need to use that for something better. I could help out. Nah, because they're not going to be able to core any for that, so... I mean, they'll be happy, but they're not going to be unhappy if I don't give them anything. So bondman's out, got their ducats. I don't need to. Okay, I've already mothballed that point. Always attack. Might try to. I'm actually going to probably try to snag religious ideas relatively soon so I can convert those provinces. Normally I would say humanist because these are going to be really hard to convert and it would be nice to get the idea cost down, but I'm going for the long run and religious is going to be much better for the long run. How long have I been playing? 30 minutes. For ease in video processing and stuff, I'm gonna quickly cut it here. I'm gonna keep playing, but I'm gonna just cut the recording here so I can split it up into different episodes and such.